Is it working? Yes, no, maybe? I don't know. Cheese on top? Is it working? Yes, no, maybe? Alrighty, here we go. Those are the lyrics of the Malcolm in the Middle show, BT Dubs. Just in case you didn't know. Not everybody's an old man like me. You might have had stuff like Phineas and Ferb, Adventure Time, the Mortal Kombat Kids show. You know, normal stuff. Yeah, I know. You'd think I'm exaggerating, but Mortal Kombat had a kids show. It was bananas. Special Mother's Day stream, I guess. First and foremost, this isn't a stream. This is a broadcast. It's kind of the same thing, isn't it? That's just what YouTube calls a stream. Today wasn't too eventful. Not really. After last night's stream, I probably didn't get to bed until about right around 4. Woke up around noon. I did my normal routine of waking up early and going back to sleep, and waking up early and going back to sleep. Just fucking ad nauseum. That's always a fantastic thing. Then, once everything else was said and done, sounds like I might end up halting a transport. Well, they might not see me at night. Oh, guilty. So I woke up around noon and started making a pitiful excuse for a breakfast. But before I was really able to get that done, I received a message on Facebook from my aunt, my youngest aunt.
If you extract him, it could be plenty useful for us.
My youngest aunt had sent me a message saying that she and her husband were over at the farm, the family farm. And her husband was barbecuing. So I went on down there, joined him. And her husband had made some bomb-ass steak on the barbecue. And some bomb-ass potatoes. He like kind of like tried to julienne the potatoes or something, increase the surface area, make them you know, kind of peel apart better or make them cook easier. Oh, shit. They've gone and alerted the guys to the outpost. Thought I would have gotten him in time. Oh.
Where are the others?
You gotta extract him.
Okie dokie.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Hide behind the truck. Take this out. And recover my explosive. Remember, explosions change the enemy AI. They have a kind of hunker down thing that they do, and they will stop sending us soldiers 2 at a time if they hear an explosion. So, see D-Dog almost fucking get himself shot again? Yeah, do you remember? This guy's shooting over here. Forgot all about it. That was easy.
On the ground.
And he made some bomb-ass carrots too. They were put a little bit of brown sugar on them.
Where are your friends?
You gotta extract him.
The whole thing was good. No complaints. No complaints at all. It's a lot better than what I normally feed myself.
Leave the rest to us.
Then again, none of my stuff like can have that much salt in it. Got high blood pressure. I gotta take lisinopril for it. I got high cholesterol. I have to take a torvastatin for that.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Speak. Where are your friends?
Hey! Come on! No!
These guys are not very curious.
Subject on board. Leave the
They're
rest
supposed
to
to be
us.
sending me 2 dudes at a time. Technically, they've done that twice, maybe 3 times, kind of. I don't need to get headshots out here. There's no points to earn. I'm starting to do it just for practice. Wow. I didn't think I was going to get that headshot.
Spit it out. Where are the
There's
others?
another one way the fuck down there. Well, I hope he comes to me. I don't feel like going all the way to him.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
You gotta extract him.
Hands up.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Where are your friends?
Subject on board. Leave the
Take
rest
out.
to us.
Let's see if we can't take out this burning barrel. And to start that. Oh, hell yeah. Awesome. And they gave me a free car and shit. These people could not be more generous if they tried. So once everything else was said and done and we'd all eaten, Grandpa whipped out a some butter pecan ice cream, and we had ourselves some cake that had the words Happy Mother's Day written on it in icing. So that was all a barrel of laughs. We all got to play with the her kid. She had a kid a little over a year ago, somewhere around there. Probably coming up on 2 years ago now, maybe. Oh. That's a pain. So we all got to play with our kid for a little while too. That's always fun. It's a funny little guy, and he's got curly hair, and he's just so full of energy all the time. That reminds me, whenever I was a kid and I used to be full of energy all the time. But he was just so excited to be around Grandpa, which is probably his favorite person in the world. So he wouldn't go down for a nap. And that's highly important at his age. He is teething, you know. Important baby stuff. So they had to take off right around 3:30. And I took off not too long after that. I decided to catch my breath before I was going to go out there and work on the cabin a little bit more, slap some more tin sheets on the side of it. And while I was catching my breath, I wasn't going to sit there and do nothing. Yeah, there's Noah. The game decided to go ahead and fold them for me. 100% chance of success. Wonderful. So, turned on the old YouTube, started learning some skills, and while I was at it, got onto one of those apps that pays you to do this, that, and the other, and started earning some points. I earned probably about $5 worth of points whenever I was sitting there. I had to download some apps to earn some points. It's the Mode app. The Mode app used to be called Current back in the day, but now it's called Mode. And if you earn like 90,000 points, something like that, then one of the redemption things is they'll send you an entire unlocked Mode phone, which is a pretty high quality Android. And like I said, it's unlocked. So that's hyper important. You see, if you are poor enough, the government will just, they'll, you know, pay for your phone. So that's what happens if you are poor enough. It's called the Lifeline program. It's been around for a while, but they used to also give out a phone with it. But I guess phones evolved too fast, and so the whole thing just became not really viable anymore, and so they changed it. He was about to stab me, and he didn't want to play nice.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Buddy! Buddy! Hey, film me technique. Spit it out. Where are the others? Line up.
That's part of the reason why I was going to go ahead and take out this sniper over here before I took out those two doofuses.
You need to improve the support unit.
That I really wasn't expecting. The fucking armored vehicle way the fuck over there to suddenly detect someone being Fultoned.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Because that makes no sense. Not only was I more than 30 meters away, but also they're usually fucking deaf. Which makes sense because they are a vehicle. An armored vehicle, no less. Yet another glitch that I've never seen before in my life. Okay.
You gotta extract him.
He's 100% probably going to shoot me before I can take him down, but he can't see me very well. Fantastic. I'm overshooting it. There's spawn at at Fort Knox during command leadership school for command leadership course, and U.S. Army Reserve Officer Training Corps. They had to simulate being either artillery or field artillery. And so they had this like computer simulation that
Subject on board.
we all had to like try out. It was like this fucking enemy armored division that was just like out in the open, you know, some exceedingly
Extract him.
unrealistic, like extremely easy situation. Yeah, so we didn't even know what the hell we were gonna do whenever we grew up at that point in time, you know. You're still in training. Now that's a little bit different than the way that it's done in active duty. Not really active duty, like, well, whenever you're enlisted. Whenever you're enlisted in the military, it's a little bit different. You choose your job way the fuck back in the military entrance processing station. But with, maybe it's a little bit different with, maybe it's a little bit different with, whatchamacallit? With OCS, with the Officer Candidate School. Because with the Officer Candidate School, you'll already have your bachelor's degree. But I'm pretty sure, I remember Craig Maloney talking about West Point, the United States Military Academy at West Point. He was talking about his time at West Point, and with his time at West Point, I think he was also doing it in a way where he didn't really choose his job until like his junior year, or maybe even his senior year. And the guy was just one of the hardest, you know, humans on the planet. So he just wanted to choose, like, I think his reasoning was that he just wanted to choose the most difficult job that he could think of. And so he chose to be an infantry officer. I think that's what he says in the book. I can't remember 100%. What is this, heavy infantry? Is that what it said? The guy in right here. The guys in right here. These gentlemen. Fuck that. I thought this guy was all alone. Okay. So if you're all facing the same direction, I'll get the one that's all the way to the left here. Go from there.
That's the target.
No, you're all facing the left now. You guys are just a barrel of laughs, aren't you? That's how you do it. Pretty much done. And that other guy is 89 meters away, so he's not going to hear them screaming and hollering. Remember, it's 60 meters away and below that they can hear all this screaming and hollering.
He's coming too. Roger that.
So, yeah. I think because of the nature of doing education while you're simultaneously doing military training, which is exactly what West Point is. And by the way, there's a lot of people that just, like, a lot of people in the enlisted corps, they end up, like, hating their officers because, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta salute these people and blah, blah, blah. And for what reason? Because they have a bachelor's degree and you don't. So they went to school for 4 extra years. And that's the reason why you have to, you know, give them all of this respect and everything. Makes no sense, right? But really, it's just, you know, whoever the hell is the most, the person who has demonstrated the most amount of responsibility gets the most amount of responsibility. You know what I mean? So even in the United States military, they are going to more easily and readily hire people who have a high school diploma than ones who don't.
He's coming too. Roger
simply
that.
Because once you turn 18 years old, you don't actually have to make it the rest of the way through high school. You can, if you can secure yourself some parental consent and stuff like that, you can in fact just go ahead and drop out of high school. Sorry, I'm not doing anything because I'm petting my cat. He's being an angel just like always, huh, kitty kitty? Ain't that right, my pretty kitty? Ain't that right, my little angel? Alright, so even though you could be like me and have one of your parents drop you out of school against your will, it's more likely, well, it's at least semi-likely that you simply turned 18 and you said, fuck school, I'm too cool to go back. Giving them mic, show me where the fucking studio's at. So it's one of your options. So according to their thinking, you've demonstrated more responsibility by staying in school longer. You could have started on that job, and people get in a real rush. It's kind of ridiculous. People really want to get to the rest of their life super quickly, and it makes no sense. It's like, man, I just can't wait to stop doing new things, to stop, you know, fucking around with all this, you know, bullshit whenever it comes to learning shit and meeting new people and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I cannot wait to be done with all of that and start working 40 hours a week doing the same shit day in, day out until I begin to forget it, much like someone who drove to work so many times that they no longer remember the route. It's just muscle memory. So I start to lose giant chunks of my life just because I can't fucking remember them at all. I just cannot wait to have all of this go away, so as quick as I can get to the part of my life where I just fucking start forgetting things and can eventually just roll over into the grave. That's what I'm fucking rooting for that shit. I think maybe it's just the fact that you know, yes, it is easy whenever you consider the idea that if you start doing something over and over and over again as early as possible, then you'll get used to it as early as possible. But anything else beyond that is not really something to look forward to. But these are kids that we're talking about, so no one's gonna fucking none of them are going to listen to you, no matter what you say. So you'll never get them to listen to you by saying like, hey, I know how the world works and stuff like that, and the way that you think right now does not actually match how the world works. They will never ever listen to you if you try to approach them with that being the approach, you know? But it's weird just how often people are part of their life that is the most boring part. I think somewhere in their mind they think that perhaps it'll be not boring, or they forget that whole thing that we've talked about in previous broadcasts about Mihai Csikszentmihalyi and his book, Dr. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, in his book Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience. They forget all of that, even if they have, you know, very unlikely perused that particular topic. They forget the idea of being bored and stuff like that, and they forget that difficulty is a part of it. And also that at the end of the day, like, that's not what they really need to be focusing on, is whether or not life is currently difficult, you know. And the fact that difficulty really is something that's inevitable in a certain way, and really you're just kind of moving it around with your life. You're either front-loading your life. So let's say you want to go with something that's absolutely going to work. You want to go with something where you are definitely going to join the upper class of society, and you're going to live like that for your entire life. You know this is going to happen, and all you have to do is succeed at your job. You know what I'm talking about. Becoming a doctor in some way, shape, form, or capacity. So, if you succeed at doing this, like I said, you're going to join the upper class, everything's going to be gravy, you know, you're not going to really be concerned with money ever again for the rest of your life. So, you're sort of front-loading difficulty in your life. You're getting it over with as soon as possible. This whole difficulty thing, you're going to just, you know, try to get it done. So, you study hard in high school, you study hard in college. And people will tell you that, oh my God, if you study hard in high school, you're going to lose out on so much crap. But yeah, like, would you sacrifice the, you know, like there's plenty of people. It's funny. There's actually like this post that I saw. It was like a 4chan post or some shit like this, and he was talking about how he wasn't really good at, you know, much of anything outside of school for like the longest time. And he kept being told that he won't have to be socially adept or anything like that once he hits medical school. So he just stuck his nose in the books and everything. And then he finally gets all the way to medical school just to find out that it's the same fucking groups of jocks and, you know, nerds and everything. That, like, nobody... It's not like the jocks just didn't go. It's like, some of them like school. You know, sometimes, every now and again, you get the jocks that are also the valedictorian and everything. They just strive for excellence in everything in their life. And that kind of, that's kind of like what life was like for Craig Mullaney, right? In The Unforgiving Men, Soldier's Education. It was this whole thing where he had like 4.0 grade GPA and stuff like that. It was pretty fucking close. He was one of the, he graduated pretty much top of his class. And with only like 1 or 2 people that was ahead of him that graduated a little bit with a little bit higher GPA out of the United States Military Academy at West Point. So, like, he was a bookworm, and of fucking course he was a jock because he was, you know, he joined the military. You know, he joined the army. He became an infantry officer. There's nothing more, you know, physically demanding that he could have technically done. There's nothing else that's in the books. There's no special forces officer. Apparently that's something that you get promoted into should the time come, and really it's based off of do they need one and stuff like that. That's the way I understand it. Anyways, I mean, for God's sake, the man won the Rhodes Scholarship and got put on an educational delay so that he could finish his master's degree at Oxford University. So he was a jock and a nerd. So you think that, like, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on so much if I just, you know, stick my nose in the books and stuff like that. I'm either going to have fun or I'm going to do good at school. No, that's fucking horseshit. You can do both. You can absolutely do both. Now, notably, it is harder to do absolutely everything than it has ever been before in all of human history. Whenever it comes to our day-to-day lives, you can try to say that it's easier to get from A to B because we have the highway system and blah blah blah. No, our day-to-day life. So we put more miles onto our cars. We put more effort into every little thing. You know how whenever you apply for a job, it's a red flag if you've said something controversial on your social media, but it's also a red flag if you haven't said much of anything at all. And it's also a red flag it's a definite red flag if you don't have social media. So it's like, you can't fucking win, right? I remember in 2013, after I was deported from South Korea, whenever the government shut down and they took all of my veterans benefits with them, after I came back home, I still had base access. So I went to Scott Air Force Base, and I decided to take TAPS class again, the Transition Assistance Program, again. Decided to go ahead and take it one more time, and so I went ahead and did so. I should have roughed up a base real quick. That would make the next mission a little easier, but forgot all about it. It's gonna be kind of a pain as is. I think there's a way to sneak around a little bit though. Maybe just a smidge. Kind of. We'll try. We'll get there when we get there. Like I said, you gotta knock them out of that animation, and then they will act like you've interacted with them. Because or else you get near them, and then they, you know, salute, and then they say something to you, and then just because you've gone near them, they go ahead and that raises their morale. But whenever they're all standing there, you can go ahead and get that morale thing out of the way by just knocking into all 4 of them. It raises the morale of everybody. just by interacting with them for. So you can absolutely do both. You can do well in school, and you can do party and have fun, stuff like that. And I mentioned the fact that things are harder than they've ever been before, to sort of remind you of that fact. My grandfather, he's got a bachelor's degree in agriculture. And he, every now and again, he tells stories about his time in college and university. And he was pretty much going to university entirely to try to dodge the draft, because after World War II, they were already doing the educational delay sort of thing, where if you were pursuing higher education, then you couldn't be drafted. So that was that at the time. And so with them drafting people for the Vietnam War, he was trying to stay in school for as long as possible so that he wasn't going to get drafted. Well, it didn't work, because he graduated, and then he was like, oh shit, you know, they're still drafting for the Vietnam War. Like, what do I do? Let me try to stay into college. And then he was like, can I stay in college? Can I, you know, try to go for a master's degree? And they said, no, your grades are too horrible. But he tells all these stories. Tells stories about getting arrested whenever he went down to Louisiana. Tells stories about renting out an entire house with his buddy, splitting the bills, and you know, the rent was like $30 a month or some shit like that, you know, way back in those days. Talks about stories of constantly getting drunk. If he wasn't in class, then he was drunk, and all this kind of stuff. But in the meantime, you know, my time active duty in the Navy, that involved a lot of drinking. It's not, you know, needed. It is optional, but
He was the leader of the boys being forced to work at the mine.
I did quite a bit of it.
He was separated from the others and taken away to Ngumba Industrial Zone. The locals call this place Nzoya Badia Bulu, the Devil's House. Boss, find Shivani and extract him safely. You can check the target's location on your iDroid.
My time drinking had gone down significantly. The amount I drank and how often I drank ever since I got out of active duty, and started college. Now, then again, Lewis and Clark Community College is not really known as a party school. Especially not then, at like 2011. And the my university, Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville, it was ranked almost dead last on the list of party schools. So it was also definitely not a party school. Trying to run around this base as much as humanly possible. I might have just avoided Ocelot's line.
An outpost of the
Nope.
sunken road.
There he goes.
The snake's mouth. I get it. Looks like that's the only way to the objective area.
Fucking hard as hell trying to get around this now. We really can't. And this for you. same. And the other guy is not suspicious. So, we are in luck. One of the tasks for this mission is yet again listen in on this guy in front of us and all of his little conversations that he's going to have and all the places that he's going to have them. So, we got to travel with him. Thanks, Snake. I was holding down the crouch button, but if you want to stand up and start doing jumping jacks, I guess that's your fucking prerogative. Let's see. Locate and extract Shabani. Hit the spoilers with an attack. Fight off the spoilers. Pinpoint the route. Capture a wild dog. And listen to conversations. He's shooing away. He's going to do that several trillion times. Shooing away, D-Dog. Get out of here, doggy. Leave me alone. I thought you might have said something to somebody before he began his little journey, but I guess not. I guess I don't remember any specific lines, so I guess that tracks. So, yeah, Southern Illinois University Edwardsville is ranked almost dead last in terms of party schools. I did not do a whole lot of partying the entire time I was there. Now, notably, I was also it's going to take a while for him to begin conversation with the guy that he's going to talk with. He's got to walk from the truck all the way to the person that he's going to talk to. And in the meantime, that gives us a chance to pinpoint the location of where Shabani is being held by looking at a map in here. It also gives us a chance to find a little spot to camp out while he's chatting with this gentleman. Gonna go up and talk to him about Garfield. You know the drill. Oh, and it stopped raining.
Looks like a map to the objective area. It's on your iDroid.
Why would he want to do that? Because it was funny.
En nou is die zakenbaan. Die aanvalsbevel op zijn basis vergeet hier in af. Wat heeft dit te doen met een vinder? Moet ek weet. Dis onmoontlik om hier trek te bande te
Isn't it obvious?
As die lakkie aan ons kant is.
2 sentences later, hell if I know. How am I supposed to know? What would you ask me such a stupid question? You just fucking said that it's obvious.
Okay.
A few things with the recent missions. Notice that in lingua franca, the translator, the interpreter, does not actually say precisely what the guy that he's translating for said. He doesn't say it word for word. That's actually what translators do. They kind of summarize. You're not going to get the full extent of the conversation.
Ja, ek moet voor rantsoene. Is die rivier oorwegpos daarvoor?
Ja, maar jy kan nie by die rivier uitkom met 'n voertuig.
So is dit waar dat die laaste bestede daar dood is?
Wat? Nee.
Moet ek bekommerd wees oor al daai verkoorde lyke by die stasie?
Genoeg
Nou.
vrae. Weer heeltyd op die slagveld. Wat kaarts in daai tent? Jy beter dit goed bestudeer.
Ja, meneer.
Mildly curious, but not that curious. The spotlight should illuminate the vehicle one more time. Yes. Is he swinging over to the left again? Yeah. So I got more than enough time to get on in here. Go down for a little nap. So yeah, that's what interpreters do. They don't give word for word what the hell has been said to them. They usually summarize quite a bit. What was the other thing? They, whenever it comes to simultaneous interpretation, whenever people are just kind of rattling it out all at the, like a political debate or some shit like that, then sometimes they'll get it word for word, but still, they like to generalize quite a bit. You know, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't, like, have, a one-to-one translation in different languages. So, for example, there was this post going around, I think it was on Tumblr, that was talking about how, I think, if I remember correctly, the poster was a English as a second language teacher. So, he was over there with a host family. It was one of those contracts. And so he had to stay with a host family. And host families are always glad business people. They want to learn the language of business. Which has been proven. Stephen Debner and his partner in Freakonomics, they proved that if you're a native speaker of a different language, that's D-Dog, by the way. That's right. D-Dog is getting hit by the car over and over and over again, and pushed very slightly each and every time, and that's what that noise is. It's a barrel of blast, it is. Looks like he was fucking dying to do it again. Shit. This little indicator is getting awful close to the front of the truck. So, what was I talking about? I'm the only one here. I always forget the hell I'm talking about. I'm the only one here. So, seriously, what the hell was I talking about? Simultaneous interpretation.
They even got a guard post there. Security sure is tight. I guess they don't want anyone poking around.
With this one, it's kind of tough to get out of there without them spotting you, getting a little suspicious, and holding up the whole affair until they drop their suspicion. So I like to get out just a tidbit early, that's all. We continued the thing earlier. After this, at least.
Haka het nuwe instruksies vir jou. Verlig die wag vorentoe.
Hæ?
Sy skof is verby en ons het 'n tekort aan mannekrag.
Verstaan. Waarna toe gaan ek?
Die wagpos voor die tonnel. Wanneer jy by die rivieroeverwagpos kom, slaan koers die bout in.
Reg.
Hou jou oë oop. Die digte mis verdamp trend nooit. Dan's daar die stories oor hulle bose geeste. Duivels wat fluister en vloek en wie weet wat als. Die laaste ou, hy is by die tonnel en kyk. Wees dit versigtig. Gaan nou.
Ja, meneer.
This guy takes his sweet fucking time getting to where he was just ordered to go. So at this point in time, we can actually take these two guys down. Interrogate them. Do the whole kit and caboodle.
Where are your friends?
That fog out there freaks him out. So he gets his gun up at the what's called the low ready. In the low ready position, as if he's looking out for any threats. He was just, you know, warned by the other guard. So all of these, you know, campfire horror stories have freaked him out a little bit. So that's why he's going around like this.
Mist. Supposedly the valley up ahead is covered in mist almost year-round. The objective area is beyond there.
That whole idea of a place by a body of water that's kind of covered in mist year-round, that's pretty common in a certain hemisphere. I think it's like below Ecuador or something like that, but below the equator, I think that's fairly common to have a place by a sort of natural body of water that
Bridge has collapsed.
is covered in sort of mist or fog year-round. You get more of that nonsense if you play Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. South American cloud forests. Paz will tell you all about it. That was before she got that scar on her belly. So I can go back to what I was talking about earlier. During the command leadership school in Army Senior Reserve Officer Training Corps, they had to simulate artillery, whether it's field artillery or regular artillery or both. And so there's this fictional scenario of an entire fucking armored division that was just, you know, standing out there and had all this bullshit just out there in the open. He finally gets out of low ready once he's like fully surrounded by other soldiers. And they're over 30 meters away. They can't hear that particular Fulton. This guy is firing at a target. So don't be freaked out by somebody who suddenly fucking whips out a gun and starts capping rounds. There's a few places where they do that. The Afghanistan Central Base Camp has its own firing range. Let's see the sort of target that they got rigged up. Wow. I never noticed that that particular guy could probably use some target practice because he is fucking horrendous at that. That's, all of his fucking shots were way the fuck off target. Wow. This guy saunters to his last stop so fucking slowly that I could probably take every one of these motherfuckers out while I'm heading from hither to thither, but whatever. So they've got this this little thing up on the screen with these people, an armored column just sitting out in the open. And then you guys get to do math and call out numbers. And then see where the explosions hit. And it's so funny because I was telling my lab partner. I had a lab partner for a chemistry class.
The objective area. You'll have to take the path.
And I was telling her about it. She's quite a bit younger. She's probably about 18, 19, probably, something like that. And she goes, that sounds intense. So I'm like, it's a fucking computer simulation, dude.
Is jy hier om oor te vat? Onthou net, die tunnel daarvoor is buiteperke. Moenie daar ingaan nie.
Is daar iets spesiaal aan die ander kant?
Moenie nuuskierig raak nie, want jy soos die ander bestuurder opeindig.
So daar het iets met hom gebeur.
Hy het deur die tunnel gegaan en die fabriek aan die ander kant gesien. Toe sy gewete seker die oorhand, want hy het probeer om die mense te bevry. Op daai tydstip was ek aan diens by die stasie en ek het hul trop gestop. Ek het nie geweet wat om te doen nie. En rapporteer aan bevel. Voor ek geweet het wat aangaan het, 'n span opgedaag en hom net daar en dan geskiet. Toe verbrand hulle die hele vragmotor met almal binne en dan alles was weg in 'n oogwink.
Wie was hulle?
Wat maak dit saak? Wees op jou hoede en bly ry vir tot.
Reg.
Alrighty. Could have gone without that. Would have improved my score quite a bit. I think overall I'm probably going to do good. I think the more interrogations you have, the higher your score at the end of the mission. Could be wrong about that. There's that radio broadcast from Silent Hills, otherwise known as PT, exclusive for the PlayStation 4. It has been since then removed from the PlayStation 4 and is no longer accessible by normal means. The only way that you can play PT yourself is to pay fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a PS4 that already has that game downloaded on it. Even those who bought that game
Subject on board.
and then downloaded it and then like deleted it to free up space on their hard drive. Even those people, by the way, only in this mission are at first these two things out there. They're African guard dogs or whatever. They're African dogs, and so they're only there in that mission, and they're only guarding a diamond in this mission.
Could come down any minute. Watch your step. You've reached the objective area. Now look for the target. I just hope he's alive.
Just gonna expedite and open things up for us a little bit more. I think I got a plan. Yeah, I think I got a plan. Everything should be alright. Whee! diving right before the cutscene. Snake's gotta pick himself up off the ground. Oh, what's this? I'll try to show you the heroism glitch. I don't know if I'm going to get them in the right order though. Is it right then left? Will remain asleep. And the other one will wake up, and then you can collect the one that's remained asleep like a zillion times and get a shitload of heroism points from rescuing that gerbil. This game thinks that you've rescued 1,000,000 gerbils. What's up, Shabani? I'm here to rescue you and shit.
Shabani, the boy sent me.
Okay. That's all he's saying is he's just saying kill me over and over again. Rare visit to one of your fucking facilities, eh, Skullface? Yeah, goddamn monster. Not because of what's on the inside, far from it. Because of whatever the hell is on the end, on the outside. From what's on the inside.
Burn with the rest of them.
Uncharacteristically kind of him. It looks like he was going to actually go around and kill each and every one of them before he burns the whole place down, but changed his mind here and he's encountering his old enemy. Now look very carefully at the floating boy real quick, Psycho Mantis. There's going to be something different about him. Can you see that he's wearing Shabani's necklace? Now he is no longer wearing Shabani's necklace. Don't yell.
What the hell is that? Run, boss. It's him again. You can't let him catch you, boss. Get out
If I run,
boss, I'll have the chopper touchdown past
if I run, then I might slip. Jeez. go at a light jog.
Take cover, boss.
Oh, damn it.
He's coming.
I'm never not hit by that. I try to hurry up, I try to fucking take my time, it doesn't matter. Come on, you big asshole. Yeah, I'm over here. Why don't you go ahead and seal your own fate, huh? Fuck it then, I'll do it for you. He's got to get all the way down into his little position here. I got to get all the way by him. I'm going to call in this supply drop. And then the supply drop is going to get, dropped uncharacteristically quickly. And then it's going to get, pop him on the head.
And the man on fire stops. Wait, you want to extract him? Good idea. I wonder what he really is. Get on with it, boss. He broke the cords. I'd call that good news.
There's all of our tasks. Hopefully they'll let us extract this damn car too.
No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Hell yeah. You heard that spray paint? That means that they let us extract the car.
Yes, mission complete.
Oh,
Boss,
damn it.
That was exceptional.
That reflex killed the score, man. Right at the end.
Skullface. So he was in Africa after all. Working behind the scenes. Even that man on fire at his beck and call. But what the hell was going on at the Devil's House? Earphones embedded in people's throats. Tapes playing voices. And those lumps on their chests. They look like the ones on the bodies at the oil field. The man on fire burned everything to the ground. But we were recording audio the whole time you were there. We'll conduct a thorough analysis of it.
Sometimes the only thing that you can say to somebody is, I did what you were told, what you told me to do. I did the best I could. But it was too late. And you can say all of that without a word. It can be a little stressful to say something like that. A little stress relief. Snake goes through some extreme circumstances.
Boss, word has it that a Western arms dealer is going to be inspecting a CFA outpost. It appears he's involved with nuclear weapons development in the area. My hunch is that this guy is somehow connected to Cypher. I've got no proof, but we know Skullface is working through PFs in the region. Anyway, it just so happens a job connected to this inspection has come in. Take a look at your iDroid.
There you go.
On station at LC.
Whenever Craig Mullaney talked about summoning support fire to his position, and I believe he was actually not asking for I don't think he was asking for a mortar strike. I think he was asking for aerial support. So he was asking for an airplane to come drop bombs or lay down some machine gun fire at a certain location. And he said whenever he was doing that in the field in Afghanistan sometime in probably 2002 or 2003, he said it was a lot like casting a spell, he said. No. Ain't gonna do anybody any good. I think he's going to be better for speed. Hell, he might even be better for sort of hiding in plain sight. Now we're going to get more points depending on how many mission tasks we complete along with the rest of the stuff. But that being said, I think the speed bonus is going to be king here. I don't think that we're going to get such a bonus that it's going to justify going through the paces of all of this bullshit, all of the conversations. I think the speed bonus is going to be better than getting that particular mission task. Everything else should be relatively the same. But whenever Craig Mullaney was in combat in Afghanistan, and he was calling upon that aerial support, which is very, very similar to calling upon a mortar support. He said it was kind of like casting a spell, because you have to say some very specific things. You have to be like, you know, this is Alpha 1, and you know, I'm calling for Mother Base, and Mother Base, I need area support at coordinates, you know, 358, you know, 921, whatever. Entire sequence of numbers, latitude, longitude, and the amount of numbers is how specific you really want that to be. There we go. So we'll forego that one. We'll do all the rest of them, if we can, since we only get a 50% chance of success at Bolton's. Whenever we're trying to rescue the dog out of the final guard post. Go ahead and go on with it, man. Go off. You can go on alert at your little outpost. You know who can't hear you? Anybody at this guard post or the next. You got short range radio, you got long range radio. If you're wondering how you fucking detect people without D-Dog around, since he is such a crutch, later on you can develop something that lets Snake whack the ground with his prosthetic hands, and doing so sends out like a sonar pulse all over the place, and you can detect moving things. So either animals or people, you don't know which until you go check it out. Now, there's also something you can develop later called noctocyanin. Noctocyanin is a medication very similar to pentazimine or, you know, any of the rest of the medications that are present within the Metal Gear series. Except noctocyanin, as far as I know, is completely fictional. It's supposed to heighten your alertness.
Sure is tight. I guess they don't want anyone poking around.
Take a look at the horsey.
Mist. Supposedly the valley up ahead is covered in mist almost year-round. The objective area is beyond there. The bridge has collapsed. Looks like you'll have to go down through the valley.
There's this douche. Doge got picked up as a real word today. I had to download. That's fine. Take you out any way I can. I don't mind. Fuck me. This fucking fog. Why don't you go ahead and take a nap real quick? You and your friend. Don't worry, there are other dogs. So today I was trying to earn points towards getting a mode phone. So I began a thought earlier about how
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
the government has the Lifeline program, and they used to pay for a phone. They used to just give you a free phone with a SIM card installed and everything, and that was fine and dandy, except, you know, now they don't, because phones just evolve too fast and they're too expensive. So the government just don't do that anymore unless you're from tribal, you know, if you are, you have a certain connection to Native Americans and you are on tribal lands. Those are two separate but connected requirements. Hopefully so. Because that is yet another task. And a smattering of points simultaneously.
Where are the others?
So why is Guard Post not captured? Because, believe it or not, those two jokers next to the fence where we came in at, they're also part of the Guard Post. I know. It's kind of asinine, but whatever. see everybody. Just in case I didn't successfully get that last dog out of here. And let me go down here where the other two dogs are. And try to extract them.
Turn back.
And while I'm here, might as well pick up this rock. Yay! Okay. Hopefully I got that one dog out of here then. I tried. Apparently, every now and again, the guards like to shoot at those dogs. I don't know what circumstances causes that to happen, because I've never had it happen before. But maybe the IGN guide warns you against it. Tells you to watch out just in case that happens. Let's try again at this. Only one way to skin a cat. Still didn't do it right. Whatever. Maybe it's been patched? I don't know. It's just those two rats, trust me.
What the hell is that?
The reason why I lightly jog out of this area is because sprinting, sometimes Snake sprints so fast that the only thing that sprint does is make it... Look, see? I went all the way on the right side and I still got hit. What kind of bullshit is this? By the way, my little methodology of beating him, it is by far not the only way to do it. There's even a YouTube video with like 21 ways to do it, maybe? This water tower, well. The water tower put you in it and put me out. Wait until he's all the way in this position. Order a supply drop. Supply drop comes in unnaturally fast. Also, it can go and conk that little boy on the head. Like,
So the kid disappears, and the man on fire. Wait, you want to extract him?
I think it would be funny.
It really is. Get on with it, boss.
He broke the cords.
He broke the cords. I call that good news.
By the way, there's no way to succeed at extracting him. Not at this juncture. We're gonna have to wait until after mission 30 at some point in time.
Mission complete, boss.
Now, I don't know if it'll do the next part correctly.
Mission complete, and how? They're gonna tell stories about this one, boss.
Mm-hmm. And there's your S rank. What did I begin a thought about? Forgotten what the hell I was talking about again. Yeah, it does.
Welcome home, boss.
One of the missions has you return to the base after the mission, but either one of two things.
Roger.
Either if you skip that cutscene, you don't return to base, or if you've seen the cutscene even once, it doesn't return you to base. So after the cutscene of you returning to base and doing whatever the hell it is, after that's over, you just like reappear in the open world where the damn mission ended. Can't remember which mission that is. It might be mission 11, and it might be the extreme version of mission 11. Later on in the game, you unlock extreme versions of missions that are hyper difficult, and you cannot use reflex mode on them. You earn the rights to play some subsistence or substance versions of the missions where you don't have any weapons or ammo or anything, and you get to do versions of the missions without any of those. And you also have total stealth versions of the missions that you unlock later, where you get to do a certain mission, but if you get spotted even once, there's no reflex mode or anything like that. You just do not pass go, do not collect $200, like, mission's over. So bring a tranquilizer sniper rifle and keep your distance. Basically. That'd probably be apt. But whenever you get particularly close to the wandering mother base soldiers, they become real wiry. You never know where the hell they're gonna go. Earlier I was thinking that, you know, how much am I going to be able to show you, because something special happens in the next mission which directly leads into the mission afterwards. And then the mission afterwards unlocks a certain sequence of events and everything that, you know, makes this makes a whole nother part of gameplay open up for you, which simultaneously allows you to start heading out into the wilderness and into the larger online world and fight other players at other mother bases. And I was pretty certain that I wasn't going to be able to demonstrate that to you. However, there's also pre-programmed stuff that goes on that Konami themselves programmed into it, and differing scenarios and everything. There's even one particular scenario where they are simulating a skull unit attack on a base somewhere. And it goes through about 8 scenarios that cycle through every week or every 2 weeks or something like that. I don't know. But I got these keto waffles from the food pantry the other day. And I'm going to throw some of them into the toaster oven. I've got a real oven. It runs on electricity, but it's such a power-hungry device that it requires a certain wattage I don't have that particular wattage. It was here, but my uncle, he stole it out of extra special electrical doodad out in the shed. The other extra special electrical doodad that was out in the shed was required for the normal operation and maintenance of the family farm.
Boss? Is it really you? I never believed you were dead. Not for a minute.
One of the guys out on a mission at the time. He's fallen a long way from the glory days. But will he come back to us? Bring him home, boss. Roger. Subject
That's
on
it.
board. Leave the rest to us.
Let me know if I run off course, will you? That's right, you're gonna have to go back in time, get into my chat, play a sound or something. So I'm not currently looking at the screen. There we go. I could hear it whenever I got caught on something a second ago. A long time ago, Maddox. Remember Maddox? Maddox at xmission.com. A long time ago, Maddox posted this rant about how it's not fun to hold one of your analog sticks forward in one direction, and that developers need to take note. Like, speak for yourself, man.
Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Like, good God, that's the entire plot and gameplay of Death Stranding. People love it. I like it. It's pretty good. It was kind of nostalgic. I think maybe not. It's very, very rare for Super Bunny Hop on YouTube to talk about his old ROTC days. He was in Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps in high school, I believe, and it was Air Force. It was with the Air Force. And it's very rare for him to talk about this. The only time I've ever seen him really bring that up is during one sort of anti-war game video, and during his complete live stream of trying to play through Metal Gear Solid 3 on the hardest possible mode without ever using the tranquilizer gun. So that was the only time that I've ever heard him bring it up. The only two times that I've ever heard him bring it up. But I think he was, I think he talked about it a little bit. I think he's also one of those weirdos that that at some point in time, I could be getting my people mixed up here, but I think he was also that one of the weirdos that at some point in time, possibly after high school or possibly right after he graduated with a degree in journalism, I think he biked around the world, or maybe he biked across the country. I can't remember. Like I said, I could have him mixed up with somebody else, but at some point in time, I think he related that to sort of hiking and whatnot with Death Strand. How it was kind of like, it's more than a walking simulator, it is a walking simulator. Everything about walking, from pebbles on your shoes to everything about walking. all simulated. It's all there. Plus 9 hours of incomprehensible storylines, starring big name actors. And throwing your shit and piss at ghosts. That is not an exaggeration. That is what you do in that game. I love it.
Roger.
Yeah, sure I do. I don't know which one of you said that to me, but they're both getting trained with. Thanks for that, boss.
This is P1 on station at LZ.
Yeah, you can. You're going to be safe. You're going to be outside of Mother Base, somewhere on Earth, safe and sound. Well, one thing that playing Death Stranding really reminded me of was ruck marches. I tell you, that's a specific thing. It was so funny because of just how many differences there are between the Navy and the Army, and really the Navy and pretty much any other force. They were like, you don't learn hand-to-hand combat in Navy boot camp, and I'm like, no, nobody fucking swashbuckles their way onto an aircraft carrier and we've got to knife fight them back off of the side of the ship. No, you don't learn hand-to-hand combat in fucking Navy boot camp. Now, you do a little bit whenever you go to Master at Arms A school or job training, because that's, you know, military police, anti-terrorism force protection, blah, blah, blah. So there's a little bit of, like, stuff there, but in boot camp, no. You do shoot a shotgun and a handgun. You don't even shoot your rifle in Navy boot camp, or at least you didn't whenever I went through in 2007, because there's no place to fuck around with an entire rifle on a ship. If it's all hallways. If you shoot a shotgun in a hallway, you're going to probably hit what you're aiming at. So yeah, but they were like, you don't do ruck marches, and I was like, I don't know what the hell a ruck march is. They're like, no, you put everything in a backpack and you carry it from A to B. You don't do ruck marches in the Navy. I was like, no, everything's on the ship, man. What are we gonna put in a ruck, dog? Like, gonna put some apples and oranges in there so we can get it to the galley so we can eat it later. Like, what the hell are we gonna put in a ruck? The fuck are you talking about, man? It's all already on the ship. It's fantastic. But then they put a bunch of shit in a backpack, they put it on your back, and you walk from A to B. You can even get it to the point where you're kind of like doing this little, I think it's called the Airman's Shuffle, but I could be wrong about that, I can't remember. But you do this little half jog thing with your giant rucksack on your back, and I found a lot of enjoyment in that, not gonna lie. I found a lot of enjoyment in just like, it's weird because, like, I never really enjoyed going to school with a backpack on, but suddenly they put this rucksack on your back and they're like, go walk 12 miles, and you're like, okay. And suddenly I'm just like skipping along, having a gay old time, you know? Just having a blast. Death Stranding really reminded me of those days. It really, really did. And it became an enjoyable and eventually nostalgic game for me to play. But all that being said, especially with all the excitement that's going to go on in the next mission, it's just not something that I'm really going to stay awake for. Getting a hankering for some damn keto waffles that they gave me at this food pantry. They gave me like 1 million of them. So it's in the toaster oven waiting to bleep and tell me it's ready. I'm going to choke those down. Maybe I'll sprinkle a little erythritol on top, but that's about it. I'm not going to go out and buy syrup just to polish off these waffles. Put sugar on them or some shit. Anyways, that's that. You know what? Before we go, we get another scene with Paz. We just rescued a fucking wandering Mother's Base soldier, and I totally fucking forgot that is directly related to scenes with Paz. All the Mother Base soldiers have a fucking picture from 9 years ago. Gonna show it to Paz. She's gonna say something that's not really that relevant to anything, and then we're gonna go from there. Fucking forget all about it. I was looking for to see whether or not this type of run has been simulated in some way. I thought that like maybe speedrunners have at times gone ahead and gotten from A to B without really recruiting too many people because it just takes too much extra time. But at first I ran into speedrunners that would just go ahead and kill people. And I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. And then I looked for speedrunners doing pacifist runs. And even that really wasn't what I was looking for. So I don't think that this type of run has really been done before. And frankly, I want to kind of try it again. Believe it or not, I kind of think that I haven't been strict enough on this. Maybe I want to try it again. Maybe I want to de-emphasize the 100% thing and just try to emphasize people not hurting. Maybe decide not to
what is it, Snake?
fold in anybody at all.
Oh, here's Nuke. He is so cute. I haven't seen him around lately. Where did he get to? He is the official mascot of Mother Base, so he should show his face a little more. Want to know a secret? I saw Miller feeding Nuke when no one was looking. Meow meow. Come here. Come here, kitty kitty. Come here. Nuke. Nuke. My head. It hurts.
If you remember our broadcasts from Ground Zeroes, you'll remember that Nuke was the name of a cat, of course. I guess someone somehow or another got it all.
Roger.
Brought it home from a mission or something like that.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
Because that whole thing, I mean, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker that took place on a Mother Base not too dissimilar from this one.
On station at LZ.
Either way, you probably heard my my toaster ding, so I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna eat my keto waffles that they gave me down at the food pantry. I'm gonna move on with my life. Eat those waffles before I go to bed. So, I'll talk to you the next time I get the chance. Oh, and before I go, Happy Mother's Day.